it okay if you please state your name and spell your last name?
My name is Andrew Rabanal. My last name is spelled Rabanal.
All right, thank you, Andrew. So I wanted to ask you about superheroes. So, who is your favorite superhero, and why did that hero resonate with you?
I feel like my favorite superhero is Spider-Man because I feel like I relate to him a lot because even though he doesn't really, yeah, obviously he has superpowers and stuff like that, but in the end he's just a normal teenager just trying to get by through life. And then even though he goes through all these, triumphs and stuff like that, being villains, saving people, he's still an ordinary kid at the end of the day. So like even though it shows that like he does all this stuff with that responsibility comes with his powers, he still lives a life that he's very satisfied with, and that's what resonates with me the most.
Okay. When did you first discover Spider-Man, and what initially drew you to him?
I first discovered Spider-Man when I was younger, probably when there was this cartoon show called Ultimate Spider-Man. It came out on Disney XD. So I was watching Disney a lot at the time because that's what I was watching when I was younger. And then I saw that show come out. It premiered around, I don't know, but sometime in elementary school when I was in elementary school. But yeah, I mean, I was easily attracted to him because it was like he was funny. I love comedic characters. I always do. And then one of my favorite colors of all time is red. So since his costume was primarily red, it was kind of easy for me to like make him my favorite character.
If you could have one power from Spider-Man, what would it be and why?
Ooh, if I could have one of his powers, I feel like spider sense would be kind of cool because of the sense of like you get to know when danger is coming to you. Cause you'd be like it'd be kind of cool if like you're just walking around and then someone throws something at you or like tries to throw something at you and then you sense it and then you just look back and grab it. Like that would be like so cool, especially when everyone around is looking at you for that. So I think that's what I want to have.
hmm How do you think Spider-Man's values align with your own?
I think Spider-Man's values align with my own because obviously we all know what his main statement is with great power comes great responsibility. So I feel like I have, in a sense, my value is to give back to this world and, make sure everyone in my life is doing good and making sure that's my responsibility. I feel like in my end to take care of everyone who has ever taken care of me in return. So that's what I feel.
hmm Um, Involving Spider-Man, what is your favorite storyline or comic arc involving him?
Favorite Spider-Man story? Ooh. Um, I would say I don't really know about many Spider-Man arcs because I'm more known Spider-Man through like video games, shows, and movies. But I feel like a one that resonates with me is Spider-Man: Homecoming. That's one of the first Spider-Man movies under the MCU. 'Cause I feel like he was just living through high school and then just trying to impress someone. Um, Try to do all of this to impress Tony Stark and stuff like that. But in the end, he has to do it all by himself because sometimes in the end, you don't need all this cool stuff to be the best version of you. You just need to believe in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you with that. What do you think makes Spider-Man stand out from others in the superhero universe?
I feel like Spider-Man stands out is because he's one of the more relatable superhero characters because Captain America, he got powers through like scientific experiments. Tony Stark's a billionaire, genius. Like Spider-Man is just an ordinary kid, that just was given powers, and he has to take care of responsibilities that are out of his hand. And even though he doesn't want to take out his responsibilities, in the end he has to. And I feel like that's what is so relatable to so many people to him.
Are there any life lessons that you've taken away from any of Spider-Man's arcs or stories at all?
Um, I feel like one of the story arcs that has resonated with me is one from the Spider-Man video game that came out for the PlayStation 4 in 2018, I believe, because it showed that even if you do the right thing, it does have consequences. Because in the video game, spoiler alert, by the way, I'm sorry, but his Aunt May dies in the end of the video game because he did the right thing and didn't give her the the antidote for the virus that was going around. Instead, he gave it to everyone else because it shows that no matter what you do, if it's the wrong thing or the right thing, that there's always gonna be consequences. But you'd rather live with doing the right thing and taking um, taking those consequences head on than doing the wrong thing and taking those actions.
So, do you prefer do you prefer Spider-Man in the comics, TV shows, or games or movies? Then, is it more video games for you that you have that connection with?
I feel like it's more movies and TV shows because you get more time to develop those characters and you kind of get closer to like being with the character, because with TV shows and movies you get so much more time to develop that character and just to have, on a sense, connect with him more on a deeper level. And in comics, like, you just read him, so like obviously there's very good story arcs in the comics that like you can't miss and stuff like that. But like reading about a character is so much more different than like seeing character like move, talk, and stuff like that. And like comics and like TV shows and movies.
And you mentioned that whole virus story involving Spider-Man. Is that the one moment about Spider-Man that left a lasting impact on you, or is there another part of his story that sort of like did that for you?
That was one of the biggest moments because I actually like teared up playing a video game, and like video games that really make me like feel that emotional. So I feel like that is a big impact to me. But I feel like another one was the one scene in Spider-Man: Homecoming once again, when he was like holding a building up with his he's holding a building up, and then he was like doubting himself, but in the end he knew that with his power he comes a great responsibility, and then he has to uphold those values that he was taught, and then he held the building up because even when the going gets rough, you always got to keep pushing yourself. So I feel like that's something that motivates me to keep like pushing myself every single day.
And one last question: how do you feel the portrayal of Spider-Man has evolved over the years since you first like started following the character?
So Spider-Man, when I first followed him, he was like in high school and stuff like that. So, but over time, it's like started to become more like getting to young adult stuff. Because like obviously high schools we're all just teenagers and stuff like that, so we don't really know what the world is. But I feel like over time, it's shown like a more young adult side of more young adult / adult side of Peter Parker, and I feel like that resonates with me more now because since I'm more older now, it's kind of like you learn more through him as he ages.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew, for doing this interview with me.
Thank you.